It is the Sports Fix here on Flow FM, and let's take a look now at Hume netball results from last weekend. Plenty going on there in the A-grade competition. Carla Fletcher is back with us once more. G'day, Carla. How are you?
Hi, Jason. How are you? I'm all good.
Excellent. Let's have a look back to last weekend's A-grade matches, round 6 in Hume netball, and there was some interesting ones here amongst them. Not a lot of tight clashes, fairly clear-cut results, but we might start with Osborne, who are top of the ladder and going beautifully at the moment. They were far too good for Brock Burham.
Yeah, but look, they had another good win on Saturday coming up against the BB Saints. They were pretty happy with their scoreline, as the top of the table is probably going to come down to some really good percentages as the season progresses. Solid efforts across the court by Sarah Schneider and Brianna O'Connell once again. Both playing brilliantly in defence and are really starting to fire as a combination for Osborne. And their awards went to Abby O'Connell, who had a brilliant game bringing the ball out of defence, and Gabby O'Connell for a strong game in wing attack. And both awards went to Brittany Williams, Charlie Webb and Rachel Kazitsky.
Excellent. So 60-18 winners, Osborne there, going beautifully at the moment. I think the match we thought might be the match of the round, It blew out in the margin in the end to 11 goals, but to Lockhart to be very pleased with this. A good win at home for the Lockhart crew, 50 over the Murray Magpies, 39.
Yeah, Lockhart started really strong, and I think they played just a bit more of a consistent game across all four quarters. Look, and the Magpies, they battled hard all day, especially in the defence against Lockhart's height in the goal circle. Best players for Magpies were Hannah Azai in goal defence, and Tara Lishke, who shot beautifully in goal attack. And two of Lockhart's mid-court players, Paige Brown and Beck Matthews, took home the awards for Lockhart.
Excellent win for the Lockhart crew. Now, Randall Bundry Waller are starting to get their season back on track as well. They had a good win over Henty here, 53-25. Perhaps a little bit more clear-cut than we thought it might be.
Yeah, but the score really didn't reflect the competitiveness of the game. Henty started off a little bit slow, and then they were playing catch-up netball for the rest of the game. But the girls really went out there and played some great netball in the second half. Randall Bundry put in a great team effort with Mel McClellan. She's a former Henty player, and she was back from injury, and she just dominated in goals. And defence duo Brianna Higgins and Lucy Trethown combined well with some turnovers and strong rebounding. Awards for Henty went to Olivia Hall and Kelsey Steers, who both worked really hard in the centre court. And Brianna Higgins won the mug for Randall Bundry, and Mel McClellan won the Addiction Award. So, yeah, they had a really good win on the weekend, Randall Bundry.
Well done to them. What about this next game at Gindera? Struth, 114 goals scored in the game. And when you look at it, you go, 40-goal win to Gindera. But CDHBU put 37 up on the board. That would have gone close to winning a couple of games this week against anyone else. But not against Gindera. They put up 77 themselves.
Yeah, look, Gindera came out and played a really solid 4 quarters for the game. One of their key defenders, Shana Holland, she was unavailable. So Sam Creasy stepped into defence and played really well, and she took home one of their awards. Taylor Vogel got lots of turnovers in the mid-court, and their goalers, as you said, they just put in a brilliant effort, scoring 77 goals, and they only missed 15 for the whole game, so that's fantastic. Their coach, Tegan Vogel, was really pleased with everyone's contributions because they once again played the game out with 7, and they had a great iPod shuffle night at the end of the day. So, you know, with the iPod going out from Apple, they had a really good night. And best players for CDHBU were Kath Wood and Keely Mills.
Wow, turning back the clock there, retro Gindera, the iPod Shuffle. I remember having one of them back in the day.
Yeah, so, yeah, lots of fun. I think there might be a few iPod Shuffle nights out there for some entertainment and on social calendars for other clubs as well.
Good on them. Surprisingly, our next game to talk about was the smallest margin of the round, and we probably didn't think this would be the case. It was almost top versus bottom here. The Billabong Crows took on Holbrook, and the Crows ended up winning this, but only by 10 goals, 40-30. That's a pretty good effort from Holbrook.
Yeah, that's an amazing look. Holbrook have got a lot of potential, and look, they came out firing in this game, and they were pretty close to a full lineup of players, and just proving that their ladder position isn't reflective of their ability. And they were up by 2 goals at quarter time, with Meg Greenhill and Claire Marriott finishing off some wonderful shots for Holbrook. Crows defender Brooke Maloney worked really hard and was able to pick up some loose balls and intercepts and enabling the Crows then to get a bit of an upper hand in the last half. And Beth Maloney shot beautifully in goal shooter for the last quarter and stood up when it counted to, she's very calm and accurate under the post. Holbrook defender Liv Hearn kept getting turnovers, but it just wasn't enough in the end, and that resulted in the Crows with a 10-goal win. So, yeah, it was a very interesting outcome.
It certainly was. The Crows still keep their top spot on top of the ladder secured, but Holbrook, hopefully they'll start chalking up some wins soon. Last match of the round, How Long won again. They were too good for Colcan by 32 goals, 56-24.
Yeah, How Long, they took on Colcan on the weekend, and it was going to be an interesting game to see how Colcan, matched some of those top teams in the top 6. They were fairly competitive throughout, but How Long, were definitely pushed to extend their lead each quarter, which, by the score, they've done a fantastic job. Best players for How Long were Caitlin Taylor in wing attack and Georgina McLeod at wing defence. And Colcan's best players were Taylor Morey, Rachel Hensel and Kayla Wright.
Excellent. And How Long leapfrog Colcan on the ladder now up into 4th spot. Obviously the Crows undefeated on top. Osborne and Jinder are 2nd and 3rd with only the 1 loss. And then you got How Long and Colcan and Lockhart all on 4 wins and 2 losses. That's the top 6 as it stands right now. And the Murray Magpies 7th on 3 and 3. Maybe Randall Bunbury Wall attacking back on, but outside of that top 8 there, it's hard to see anyone else breaking into that top 6.
Yeah, but, there's been some surprising results in the last few weeks. And, depending on who's available each team for each week, it will just depend on how teams perform on the day.
That is very true. Let's move on to this round of matches. So we're up to round 7 now. Wow, the season is flying through. And let's have a look at the matchups as they are. Holbrook will get their chance this week against Handy to put a win on the board. I think that they're much better than their ladder position points out, as you rightly pointed out earlier. So Holbrook for my win this.
Yes, I think Holbrook, they're really keen for a win. Look, both clubs are keen for a win. But Holbrook, they've really started to display some really some great efforts against some of those teams in the top 6. So hopefully they can put it together. I think it'll be a great clash on the day, but I think Holbrook might take that game.
All right. This is a cracking round. Some of the matchups we've got on ladder positions alone are mouth-watering. Colcan, they'd be disappointed with their effort last week. They're in the top 6 at the moment. They've got Jindera, so a chance for redemption here against another top side. Jindera 3rd on the ladder at the moment. Colcan 5th. It should be a good matchup.
It should be, but I think Jindera probably, they're playing really well at the moment, and they're being consistent and keeping that core team that they've got together and running out the game. I think Jindera should probably have a comfortable win going on last week. But, Colcan will know what they're up against, and I'm sure they'll be working on their team plays and working really hard to, take on Jindera this Saturday.
Yeah. This one will be a very interesting game. I know it's only round 7 and it's hard to be, saying that this is make or break, but it kind of is for both of these sides. Randall Bunbury Waller and CDHBU. For mine, I don't think the loser can play finals. The winner is not guaranteed to play finals, but they certainly tack back onto that main group. So pretty important game for both teams.
Yeah, and I think both teams will be going out really hard and trying to get that win on the board just to give them that chance to start to creep up to the top 6 and into the, the top positions on the ladder for finals. I think, Randall Bunbury, I think, might just have the stronger team on the weekend.
All right. Here's another interesting game. The Murray Magpies 7th on the ladder at the moment, taking on How Long, who've creeped into the top 4 now. They're 4th on the ladder as it stands. This game will be at Urana, so the Magpies doing the hosting, and maybe How Long starting favourites here, but the Magpies, these are the sort of games they have to start winning.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a fairly competitive game, and they'll probably need their full lineup to have a really good crack, both teams, at this. But I think How Long's just they're proving, to be just a fairly solid, consistent team, and I think they'll take home the 4 points.
Okay. Lockhart taking on the Brockburham Saints. This is at Brocklesby, and you couldn't really make a case for the home team here. Lockhart are in pretty good form and should win.
Yeah, Lockhart are out a few players, so it'll be interesting if they can keep that consistency and that team effort working. But look, I think they should account for the Saints on the weekend, but it's always been a really tough game against both teams over the last few years. So I'm sure Saturday will be no different.
Yeah. But look, at the end of the day, it's all about this one. It's the top of the table clash at Oakland's. The Billabong Crows, pushed a little bit last week by Holbrook. They'll take on the very in-form Osborne crew, who have had a loss so far. They are in second spot on percentage at the moment. If they win this game, the Osborne crew will go to the top of the table. The Billabong Crows, if they win, they clear out from Osborne by a couple of games. So it's a really important game.
Yes, it's an important game for both teams, both clubs, and it's one of the it's the game that's going to be streamed this weekend by All In Sports. So I'm sure there'll be a few people watching online as well. Yeah, you're right. Osborne are very in form at the moment, and Crows over the last few weeks have been trying to get that 4-quarter consistency, and they're going to have to work really hard, I think, to manage that. I think Osborne might have it on the Crows, but I think, it's going to be an amazing game. Yeah,
it will be, and looking forward to seeing the results come through. It's a very even round, this one, round 7 of matches in Hume netball, so good luck to everyone hitting the courts. But it's not all the netball that will be played this weekend. That's Saturday. But what's happening on Sunday, Carla?
We're having our interleague against Tallangatta and District. So good luck to all our league players that are playing on Sunday at Sindra. We start off with the 13s at 11 o'clock, and then we have 17s and 15s, and we finish with the Opens game at 1 o'clock. So should be a great day, and it's great to see Interleague back on after a few years away. And a big thank you to everyone who's made this day possible, and a special thanks to our sponsors for the day, Riverina Sporting Services. So, looking forward to Saturday and Sunday. Great weekend of netball.
Exciting to have interleague matches back, and I'm sure the girls that are representing Hume will do so with distinction and a bit of pride too. It's always nice to be selected for those teams, and in a 12-team competition like you've got, it's even more prestigious, I think. Yeah, no, it's great. And it's great to have the 13s. This is their first season playing interleague, so the young girls are really keen and enthusiastic. And, we've got some great players up in the Opens that have gone through the whole program as well. So it's been amazing. It's a really great thing for everyone at Hume. Excellent. Good luck, and we'll catch up with you next week, Carla Fletcher. Enjoy the netball this weekend. Thanks, Jason.